Welcome to a special edition of ACC Baseball. It's game one of a three-game series between North Carolina State and Boston College, and also the 9th annual ALS Awareness Game. We also honor the life and legacies of two former players, Boston College's Pete Frates and North Carolina State's Chris Combs, both inspired while battling ALS and helped raise millions for ALS research. It is a privilege to be a part of this one today, along with former Miami and Major League Baseball infielder Gabby Sanchez. I'm Mark Neely. Gabby, North Carolina State comes in very hot. They've won 7 of their last 9 games, and first baseman Austin Murr has hit safely in all 9 of those games.
And, Austin Murr, you're talking about last week's Player of the Week for National, and he has been just on a tear. He's on a 9-game hitting streak, hitting .333, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 12 runs scored, 9 RBIs. He also has a 16-game on-base streak. So Austin Murr has been doing it all at the plate. He has been on fire.
Well, for Boston College, sophomore Luke Gold, he is their home run and RBI leader on the season.
He really is, and he's second on the team in average to go with that behind Sal Frelick. And he leads the team, of course, like you said, in home runs, RBIs with 31, slugging percentage. How about this? He's hit safely in all but 4 games this season. Put that into perspective. 4 games this year that he has not gotten a hit. That is incredible. You do not see that in baseball.
It is definitely a special day at Harrington Athletics Village. Strikeout ALS, which you'll notice today is at North Carolina State. Every player is wearing number 26, which was the number that Chris Combs wore when he was team captain between 1994 and 97 for the Wolfpack. And of course, number 3, the number of Pete Frates. So we honor a couple of greats from both schools, not only for what they did on the field, but especially what they did, again, battling ALS and literally raising millions of dollars for ALS research. Boston College about ready to take the field on what's going to be a special day here in the Boston suburbs, Gabby.
Yeah, it's definitely a special day, especially when you're talking about this game and what it means for ALS awareness. And back when I was playing, I did the Ice Bucket Challenge, and I know that Ice Bucket Challenge raised a whole bunch of money for ALS, and it's something that is near and dear. And then, everybody in both of these games, they've known guys who went through it and passed away from it. So it's definitely a big game. It transcends baseball right now.
So proud to be a part of this 9th annual ALS Awareness Game with Boston College taking on North Carolina State. And the Eagles taking the field. Let's take a look at the North Carolina State lineup. I mentioned that they're all wearing number 26. You'll see their actual numbers on their left sleeve. And here's a look at the Wolfpack order. We mentioned right up top about Austin Murr, how well he has been hitting, coming in with a 9-game hitting streak. But don't forget about the catcher, Luca Trush, batting in the cleanup spot.
Oh, yeah. Everybody looks at Austin Murr, but I tell you what, Luca Trush, he's been absolutely killing the ball as well. He's got 19 RBIs with 7 home runs, and he's hitting .300. So this lineup, this is a good lineup. They've got a lot of guys in the top of it hitting over .300, and a lot of guys getting on base, and they can do some damage.
And they face Mason Pelio, the junior out of San Diego, Rancho Bernardo High School, getting the start for the Eagles.
Yeah, with Mason, you're going to see a fastball, 93 to 97. It's a good one. It's a hard one, and it's coming right after you. His biggest pitch, though, he's got a plus changeup, and playing off that fastball, it could be that advantage for these Eagles pitching staff because he's got a really good one, so they got to be ready and prepared.
Look at that defense behind Pelio for this game. You got Leary, Frelick, and Baldelli left to right in the outfield. Cunningham and Cimini on the corners. Dempsey and Morris set up the middle, and Peter Burns doing the catching. We mentioned Luke Gold is going to be the DH today for BC. Boston College comes in 14-13 overall, 4-11 in conference play. And NC State 11-11, 5-10 in conference play. But have won 7 of their last 9. So we are set to go. Great to have you with us. First pitch on the way, and it is a strike on the outside corner to Murr, and off we go from Brighton, Massachusetts. On the ground out to second base. Moore set. And that's the way the game begins as Murr grounds out right side. 2 pitches, 1 out in the NC State first.
That's how you want to do it as Mason, right? Just go right after guys. You've got a good fastball, you got a good changeup, and you want to stay in the zone. You don't want to give any free passes because this NC State team, they can hit some home runs if they got a lot of them.
Just off the outside edge to Tyler McDonough. An Ohio native out of Moeller High School, very big school as far as producing athletes in the Cincinnati area. McDonough was a high school All-American at Moeller. Takes upstairs, and Pelio falls behind 3-0.
Yeah, right now 3-0. I'm thinking that you're taking right here. You're not going to do anything else.
He does indeed.
Now they do have that shift behind, so you've got the shortstop playing behind second base.
And a 5-pitch walk to McDonough, and NC State has a 1-out base runner.
Yeah, that's where Mason, he needs to really concentrate on. You don't want to just give free passes. This NC State team, they can hit the long ball. They're 4th in the ACC with 24. They're 4th in the ACC in home runs and 24th in the NCAA. They've at least hit 1 home run in 17 of the 22 games. So they're definitely a team that relies on that long ball.
Butler takes a strike. Junior Johnny Butler, he's an Illinois native. Butler comes in with a .303 batting average. Check swing, strike 2.
Oh, that's that good changeup. Right now it's 0-2 for Mason. What I would like to see is that elevated fastball. Get that ball up. You want it right at the eyes, right over the middle of the plate. You want a hitter to see that ball up, and then you're able to drop that nasty changeup next pitch if he doesn't swing at this high fastball.
McDonough's a threat to run. Stolen 4 bases. Mason Pelio's 0-2 pitch. Instead, a check on McDonough. Pelio threw well in his last start. That was April 1st at Virginia Tech. Went 6 2/3. 8 hits, 3 earned runs, couple walks, 5 Ks. Boston College won that game over the Hokies 7-3.
That's that good fastball up in the zone. That's the one that I was talking about. You want to get that fastball up in the zone. Now all of a sudden you're going to be able to throw that plus changeup that you have, but you want to keep this one down. You want to change that eye level.
And a strikeout of Butler with the 2nd out of the inning.
Just a very good pitch. After you go up in the zone, here it is. You're staying down in the zone and away. Just a fantastic pitch right there by Mason Pelio.
Well, 2 outs for the cleanup batter for NC State. Catcher Luca Tresh. This is the first meeting between these teams in a couple of years. They were just about ready to play one another when COVID ended not only the baseball season, but basically every other spring sport as well. That's popped up behind the plate Burns giving it a look, but it's backing out of play.
You got that wind right now. It's about 5 miles an hour east-southeast.
Tresh leading the team with 7 homers, 19 runs batted in, also a team high. Now McDonough at first, 2 outs. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball. A beauty drops in, and it's 0-2.
There's that little curveball right there. He's been working on that one. He wants to be able to incorporate that pitch to go along with his changeup.
Runs inside, a ball and 2 strikes on Tresh. Couple of strikeouts for Pelio. Goes off speed there to get Tresh to win the inning. When we come back, a special tribute to Pete Frates.
I know Pete. Let me tell you about the Pete I know. Pete is a beast. His greetings are bear hugs that often lift you off your feet. Pete is the stuff of a legend. His home runs are moonshots that land in the bleachers of Fenway. He lives in a perpetual state of positivity, always believing the upcoming play will be the game winner, by him or you, because Pete is that type of teammate, selfless for the good of the team. Over time, you realize he is not your friend, or rather you are lucky to be one of Pete's friends. Part of a vast network that stretches across cities and states, countries and continents. His network is so powerful that Facebook, the connector of 1 billion people on our planet, teaches a case study of what they aspire to inspire based on what he was able to do on their platform. None of us got an answer to why Pete, why ALS. Instead, we learned we had a hero with the abilities to make the world a better place. They said diagnosis, and he heard challenge of a lifetime. They said natural progression, and he went out and walked his dream girl down the aisle, and they had the love of his life. They said no cure, and he looked the disease in the face and added, yet. When history looks back, Pete will be the spark that ignited the fire to destroy ALS. Today, the world got a little heavy. Pete carried an incredible load for all of us, and now he gets to rest. We get to pick up that load and make sure the job gets finished. Pete reminds us that we have immeasurable greatness inside of us, and it is our responsibility to share that with the world. We're going to miss you, brother. Strike out ALS.
That is Sal Frelick, who reads the poem for us. The poem was written by Frady's teammate Joe Ayers and read at Pete's memorial service when he passed away in December of 2019. Today, the 9th annual ALS Awareness Game, Boston College and NC State. And Brian Dempsey leading off for the Eagles. We'll talk about a bit of an Iron Man streak, not to completely, can't compare anybody to Cal Ripken, but this is the 145th consecutive start for Brian Dempsey at BC. It's out in the air to left field, and initially Butler went back, now comes in to make the catch. 145 straight games in college. That's a big number. Big number.
That's a huge number. Whenever you're talking about any guy being able to stay out there and be able to play every single game without an injury or playing through injury, that's impressive, and you got to, tip your hat to that.
Here's Sal Frelick, who again had the reading of the poem we just heard coming out of the commercial break. As you see the lineup for Mike Gambino's squad today. Check swing, strike one from Reed Johnston. Starting pitcher for the Pokes, facing Frelick with that impressive .368 batting average to lead the Eagles.
He's something special, all right. Yeah, he's not tall. He's 5'9", and there's another guy that I was thinking about when I was trying to compare both of them, but both of them are 5'9", right? How about he played for the Red Sox. He did really well, won an MVP. I mean, I'm not saying
just
that
retired.
They might be the same. Just retired with Dustin Pedroia. I'm not saying they're the same, but I tell you what, they could both rake. That's all I'm saying.
I tell you what, Frelick is definitely on everybody's radar for the upcoming Major League Baseball draft. So the numbers on the starter: Reed Johnson, the defense behind him for the Pack. McDonough in center with Butler and Brown. Minsheek at third. Burrow on the other corner, and Tresh doing the catching. And strike three paints the inside corner from Johnston. 2 outs.
That's just a great pitch. Everything was away. You're going to bring this ball in. It's going to actually come right back over. That's two-seamer. It's going to come right in, and it's going to hit that corner of the plate. With Reed Johnston, you're going to see an 88 to 92 mile an hour fastball. The changeup is also his best pitch. It's his best off-speed pitch to go along with it. And then he's been throwing that little slurvy slider right there that he's been using and utilizing lately.
Base is empty for Cody Morissette. Danny Everett's our plate umpire today, and he is going to let you know location. He just screamed outside. I like the communication. I like that, Gabby. I bet as a hitter, you did too.
I did. That way you don't have to, turn around and ask, was that outside? No, you heard it. You knew it.
A start for Reed Johnston, his third start, 7th appearance. Ball sent to center field. Tyler McDonough, plenty of room to make the catch. And BC goes down in order in their half of the first. 1 inning down from BC, NC State, and the Eagles scoreless after 1. No score. NC State and Boston College. That's a good look at Elliott Avent, his 25th season as the Wolfpack head coach, and we say congratulations to him. Got his 900th career win as the head coach of the Pack on Tuesday when he beat Appalachian State. And I asked him about it the other day when we chatted. He said, you know what, I didn't even have any idea I was about to win number 900 at NC State until they mentioned it on the PA after the game was over. And then he said his phone absolutely blew up with all the different text messages from a lot of different guys who've played with him over the years, played for him over the years, and a lot of those guys that have played in the big leagues as well.
900, that's a lot of wins. That's just,
at one school.
Yeah, one school to be able to be there that long and be that successful and get that many wins. I mean, that's an impressive feat.
Elliott Avent, his first season as the head coach of the Pack was in 1997. That ball is hit hard to left field. And Leary knocking it down, but not before Jose Torres winds up at second base.
Yeah, that's going to be a hit and an error if I'm putting my scorekeeper hat on.
I would agree. Single E7.
Yep.
See how they score it.
Yeah, just a fastball, being very aggressive right there, Jose Torres is, and lines it out to left, and you can see that ball just kind of checks up on him, hits right off the glove, and gets away from him, and Torres is able to get to second base.
Just the second error of the season charged to Cameron Leary, so it's a single E7. Leadoff batter on for the Wolfpack. Terrell Tatum, the DH, shortens up, and he did offer at it, strike one.
Yeah, for Terrell Tatum, right, you just got to do your job, and that's just get that bunt down. Now, you do have some ability, though, being a lefty, that if you don't get that bunt down, you're able to still pull the ball and do the job, at least swinging the bat.
Tatum lays down a nice bunt. This is going to be a tough play. Turning, throwing. Burns unable to get him. And just trying to get Torres over to third. Tatum accomplishes that, but also most likely has a base hit here on that bunt.
What a beautiful bunt, and man, can Tatum get down that line. Wow. I mean, that was a good job by Burns to be able to get out there and make that sliding grab to throw. But that's a beautiful bunt right in no man's land. Burns is getting out there. He tries to turn, he tries to get it, but I don't think they're going to be able to get him at first on that one. Tatum just flies down that first base line.
Yeah, that is a bunt base hit for Terrell Tatum. So runners hit the corners, nobody out, and that ball runs inside on Vorta Minshik. Nearly hit him.
Right now for Vorta Minshik, you're kind of looking for that ball just to be a little bit elevated. You want to stay off the ground. You want to keep the double play out of it. So you want to think big side of the field. That way, if you get that fastball, you're able to hit it out there. And what that's going to do is keep you from swinging at that two-seamer that's barreling in on you, the easiest one to be able to roll over. So look out over the plate, use the big part of the field, try to get the ball up in the air.
Breaking ball away, and Pelio falls behind 2 balls, no strikes on Minshik. Torres led off the inning with a base hit. He's at third. Tatum with that outstanding bunt turned into a hit over at first.
Right now, you got to be looking fastball right down the middle, and Pelio, you got to pay him off.
Did he check? Apparently he did, and takes it down 3-0.
This is where things will get interesting. I'm seeing a 3-0 take. I'm not seeing anything other than that. But right now, this is where you time up the pitcher. That way, you know what's going to happen on 3-1.
Taken all the way, it's a strike. NC State was great with runners in scoring position on Tuesday in their win over App State. Went 7 for 14 with runners in scoring position.
So right now, you got to be looking for that same exact pitch. So you got 3-0. That's what I'm looking for, 3-1.
NC State with the first good scoring chance here. Top of the second, scoreless. 3-1 pitch. Pulled it foul. Maybe a little bit more up than he was wanting to offer at, but had a pretty good tack.
You got 3-2. You got to think fastball right here. You got to really think trying to hit behind this baseball. You want to hit that ball to the big part of the field. That way you're able to stay on anything else.
Tatum takes off from first. That ball hit to third. Behind the bag, Cimini throws to first to get the out. So they started Tatum. Well, there was no chance to get him at second, and that ball got to Cimini quickly at third. And Torres, nice play to get back to the bag.
Yeah, that ball, I don't even know how Minshik was able to even get to that ball. He brought those hands in, and you're right. He actually got some good barrel to it. There was a one-hopper over there to third to Cimini, who was able to make the play. But now, okay, got man on second and third. Not anything bad going on right here.
Well, Coach Avon has come out. It looks like he is visiting with the third base umpire, Josh Miller. That conversation comes to an end. Curious what caught his attention there. Coming up Tuesday, non-conference matchup on the ACC baseball side. 15th ranked Georgia Tech taking on Auburn from Atlanta. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Right fielder Devontae Brown. Second and third, 1 out. And the first pitch from Pelio is a strike.
Right now, the defense is playing back. So they're basically saying we're going to give up 1. We do not want to give up 2. If they bring the infield in, a base hit will end up score 2. So, hey, play back, get the out, give up a run. So you can see they have a slight pull shift going. You have more set. This is where hitters really have to understand, don't try to do too much. Take what they're giving you. And if they're giving you an RBI, you take your RBI. If you get a hit, great. If not, you at least get the RBI.
Just missed with a fastball down and away, and it's 3 balls and a strike on Devontae Brown. Good hitters count here. Brown batting in the 8th spot with a couple of runners in scoring position.
Biggest thing here is not trying to get too big as a hitter. You don't want to change who you are.
Shoots out one into right field. That scores Torres. Tatum. He'll be stopped at third, and that's an RBI for Devontae Brown, and it's 1-0 NC State.
That was a beautiful job hitting. That's talking about not trying to do too much on a 3-1 pitch. He gets a 3-1 fastball. It's outside. They're playing on a shift, and he says, you want to give me a hit? I'm going to go ahead and take it. I'm going to stay behind this baseball, drive it to right field. The only problem was he hit it too hard. You couldn't get the other guy to come in.
Especially with somebody that runs as well as Tatum does. And that pickoff attempt gets away. That will allow Tatum to score and send Devontae Brown wheeling all the way to third base. So the second error of the inning against Boston College, and it's 2-0 NC State.
This NC State team can fly, can't they? Golly, they got a lot of guys, but you can see this is just a missed ball by Cunningham at first. I don't know if it's maybe sun or glare that sometimes happens when you're at first base. But I will say this, Brown is something of a speed. So fast that the legs can't even catch up.
About blew a tire coming around second base there and looking to bunt, and that hits JT Jarrett.
Those are the tough ones. You're about to square around to bunt. You're trying to bunt for, not for a hit. It's almost like a safety squeeze. You're just trying to get that ball down, see if you can steal another run. And when that ball starts coming at you, it's just way too hard to try to get away from it. Just barreling down. Oh, did that hit him in the ribs?
It might have. Tough to tell.
Oof. That's just a barreling down ball on you right there.
So Alex Trezzi comes out, the pitching coach. By the way, the error was assessed on that pickoff attempt on the throw by Pelio, but nonetheless, you played first base. It was a little wide, but
I'm going to keep my hat on and say, as a first baseman, that's one that you have to make a play on. It was right there. It's in the vicinity. I just think that, I don't know if he maybe got some glare. He didn't really see it well when it was thrown. But I feel like that's one that you got to catch at first base. I would be telling him that's my error, at least.
Jack Cunningham, you see, he's a right-handed thrower, so he's kind of stretching out with the glove hand, the left hand, on a throw that was wide to the outfield side. But nonetheless, second error of the inning for Boston College. Let's give it one more look at it. Tell me if you still...
Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see here.
Let's look.
You got that ball hit the glove. You got to catch that ball.
Yeah, I hear you. Good look from our crew. Here's top of the order, Austin Murr.
And this is definitely not the guy that you want up to bat with man on first and third if you're Boston College.
Just took the words right out of my mouth. Comes in with a 9-game hitting streak. He belts one towards right center, and over to make the catch is Baldelli. Tagging is Brown. He scores the third run of the inning, and Murr doesn't extend the hitting streak, but he does get an RBI on the sac fly, his 18th run batted in of the season.
Yeah, got something out over the plate, and he hit it well. It's not like he did not hit that ball well. He hit that ball on the screws. It was just right at Baldelli and right. But he does his job. One of the best hitters in college baseball. You do your job and you get your RBI and you get your team a little padded of the scores.
Check on Jarrett. Well, I mentioned this is the first time these teams have played since 2019. They were supposed to play each other last season. In fact, Boston College had made the flight to Raleigh, and that's when the season ended. That ball is hit towards center field. Fraley comes in to make the catch to end the inning, but NC State picks up 3. There were a couple of errors in that inning as well by the BC defense. 3-0 Pack. The frame, a couple of BC errors, one of the runs unearned. As Luke Gold will lead off, the Eagles second. He's the DH today. 4, 5, and 6 batters for Boston College against Reed Johnston. Strike one on the inside edge to Gold. Right now, he and Freilich each have 10 doubles to lead the conference. You saw that Mers on their heels as well for NC State.
Yeah, that's and for Gold, that's 8 home runs to go along with the 10 doubles.
And that's a very quick 3-pitch strikeout for Johnston.
That's just a tough fastball right there. That's off the plate, but it's coming back over. So as a hitter, you have to respect that. You have to know it, especially when you're looking out over.
Cunningham takes ball 1. That's the first time that Johnston has not thrown a first pitch strike to a Boston College hitter. He'd done that to the first 4. Cunningham chops that one to the right of second. JT Jarrett plants, throws low but out. And 2 quick outs in the BC second. Season 11 for Mike Gambino, the head coach at Boston College. We were talking about Elliott Avent, the North Carolina State head coach, and Mike Gambino said he has a very good relationship with Coach Avent. In fact, he mentioned the story about Mike said his son Sonny, who was involved in a sledding accident in February, fractured his skull, which was around the time that Elliott Avent unfortunately lost his father, who passed away, his dad Jack. And Mike Gambino said Elliott's father had just passed away, and he could not have been more concerned for my son, sent some things for my son as just kind of a get well presence, and says, hey, Elliott Avent in my book, first class guy, and their relationship, Gambino and Avent, is very tight.
That's a very cool story right there. That's just baseball guys taking care of baseball guys. You love to see it, especially if you love the game of baseball.
Samini strikes out. How about that frame for Reed Johnston? Just needed 10 pitches, and he has sent down the first 6 Boston College hitters of the game. After 2, Wolfpack lead 3-0. You know, with COVID protocol, there's a limit as to how many fans can show up. I don't know if that is also a canine restriction. Is there?
He's
How many
having so
dogs can
much
you have?
fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope they could just continue having as many as they want. Dogs just make the world a better place, in my opinion.
I agree wholeheartedly. Big dog person.
As am I. I got 2. 2 labs.
First pitch down low for Mason Pelio. North Carolina State up 3-0. 3, 4, and 5 batters up. Johnny Butler, a strikeout victim his first time. Foul ground on the third base side, out of play.
You know, sometimes starting pitchers, especially, you know, these elite kind of guys, you're talking about Pelio throwing 93 to 97. That's a good arm. They forget how hard hitting is. And if all they have to do is just attack the zone, they're going to get a lot of outs just because of their pure talent and movement of the baseball. But once you start falling behind, then you start getting into that trouble where you become one-dimensional. I'm looking straight fastball only.
Bust him inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Out of play left side. Well, the last series between these two schools was 2019. North Carolina State won the first 2 games. But Boston College won game 3, and a big reason was Mason Pelio, who pitched very well in that game his freshman year. But Butler takes this one into the corner in right, and it's going to be extra bases for Butler. He's thinking 3, looking for his first triple of the year, and he's going to be in there with a head-first slide.
Just a great job of hitting. That's a 2-2 pitch. I believe that it was a changeup. He went back-to-back changeups on this one. Nope, that was a fastball. Just left it right over the plate. And that's just a great job by Johnny Butler. He just stays through it. Everybody was playing shift thinking that they were going to be going the opposite way. And, man, he was motoring around those bases to get the third. He never hesitated, just kept going. He saw it, he read it, he could see it. And that's what you need to do as a base runner.
Tresh hits one into left field, and that's going to drive in Butler with the 4th run of the game for the Wolfpack. Team leading 20th run batted in for Luca Tresh.
Those are beauties, right? Ground ball right off home plate. Let that bounce over the infield that's playing in. Get yourself an RBI. Get yourself a knock. That's a beauty.
That's the definition of a Baltimore chop, isn't it? I'm not sure why they call it a Baltimore chop, but off the turf, right over the head of the left side infielders and into left field. Jose Torres led off the second with a base hit and started the rally in that inning for the Wolfpack when they wound up scoring 3.
Yeah, got that fastball aggressive early. And this is where we talk about Paleo. Sorry about that. This is where we talk about Paleo getting again behind in the count. Now you all of a sudden become a one-dimensional pitcher. You got to now attack with the fastball. You got to come over the plate. And as a hitter, now I'm going to be able to be a little bit more aggressive. I'm not going to expand. I'm going to kind of just look for one spot, one location, and be ready to hit it.
All up high. 3 balls, no strikes to Torres. Torres missed time early in the season with a strained oblique, just about the first month. At the knees.
Now this is a 3-0 pitch right here, right? Down, away, at the knees. That is an unhittable ball. So if you are swinging, you ain't swinging at that one.
Almost the same spot. Might have been an inch or 2 up. Higher than the last one, but still in a good location from Pelio.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be thinking it's going to be the same pitch. Usually what you throw 3-1 is what you're going to be throwing 3-2. So you got to be looking fastball out over the plate.
Got it. Came in a bit, and it's popped up to the second baseman, Morissette. So that's a first out of the inning for Pelio as he gets Torres.
Just great pitch. He's got some good run. Paleo's got good run that comes in. The problem is that sometimes when you have really good run that's running in, it's harder to control.
See the ratio.
Yeah, 48 total, 28 strikes to 20 balls. That's where you got to cut those down. Those balls, you need to leave it right there, start throwing more strikes, and you're able to utilize your secondary pitches.
Well, 1 to Terrell Tatum, who in his first at bat came up with Torres on base, and his main goal was to just bunt him over, and instead Tatum bunted so well up the third base side, he wound up with a base hit. He hammers one towards right field, but right there is Baldelli.
Mark, you know what we call that?
An atom ball?
An atom ball, you got it. Hit it on the screws, you take a couple steps, and you go right back to the dugout.
Pelio gets the second out on a line drive and will face Vojta Minchik. Again, you notice the North Carolina State players all wearing 26, honoring Chris Combs. That's hit deep to left. Leary back at the fence, and it leaves the ballpark. Second of the year for Minchik.
What an absolute beautiful job hitting right there. You get those hands, you bring them in. That's the second home run. That's his 12th RBI of the season. Man, that was outstanding. Knew a fastball's coming. He's going to be aggressive. Leaves it out over. Gets those hands, stays inside the baseball, and drives it out to left field.
Well, his only other home run this year wasn't all that long ago. March 26th at North Carolina. It was a grand slam. Minchik, who hit 2 homers as a freshman, 2 as a sophomore, now in his junior year. That's home run number 2, so it's equaled a career high for a season. He's got a lot of baseball still to play in 2021 as Brown. High fly, and now at the last moment, Fralick calls everybody off to make the catch, but not before the Wolfpack add on. As they pick up 3, 2 coming on the Minchik home run. 6-0 Pack going to the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third, North Carolina State has jumped out to a 6-0 lead on Boston College. This 9th annual ALS Awareness Game. Vojta Minchik, who in the top of the inning hit his 2nd home run of the season. Capping off another 3-run frame for the Wolfpack. They scored 3 in the second. They've added 3 more in the third. Now here come the Eagles. And the first pitch is a strike from Reed Johnston.
That makes it, what, 6 out of 7 so far today, that his first pitch strike?
That is indeed the number. Cameron Leary leading off. 7, 8, 9 for BC as Johnston has sent down the first 6 Eagles hitters today.
And Johnston's doing exactly what you're supposed to do as a starting pitcher, right? Your team has come out, they've given you a 6-run cushion, and now you just attack. You're not letting any free bases on. I know that he is a strike thrower. He's shown it his whole entire career.
Leary sends it to left field. Johnny Butler with the sunglasses on. 1 out. Quite a start for Reed Johnston, setting down the first 7 batters. You look at his last start for Johnston was not a good one. He gave up 8 earned runs in 7 innings against Clemson last Friday through 114 pitches. Lost the game 10-6. It was a 6-6 game going into the 8th when Clemson scored 4. Picked out by Murr at first on the throw by Torres, 2 outs. However, Johnston 2 starts ago pitched very well. In fact, he had a complete game win at North Carolina March 26. 9 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 hits. A couple of walks, 4 strikeouts. North Carolina State's the only ACC team this season with 2 pitchers to throw a complete game. Johnston being one of those, and that went over North Carolina. And Chris Villamar against North Carolina Greensboro. Not long after that, see the numbers so far on Johnston for the season.
Tell you what, he's been filling up that strike zone, hasn't he? He's just going right after hitters. So if you're Boston College, you got to see that. You got to understand that right now he's filling up the strike zone, and the best pitch that you might get might be that first one. So you got to be somewhat aggressive, especially early on, because he does have a really good changeup and a slider to go along with that. And you don't want him to start doing that.
No.
Because right now he could just play with you. He could throw that changeup in. He can throw that slider away.
That was only a second 2-ball count of the game, and Baldelli going to drop that into left center field. So there is the first base hit of the game for BC. It's a Dante Baldelli 2-out single here in the third.
Well, we're not going to be calling a no-hitter game. And I don't think we were going to see that anyways.
That's quite a ratio right there.
That's a good ratio. That's what happens when a Friday night starter gets on the mound and he's really attacking the zone.
Top of the order, Brian Dempsey. Another first pitch strike from Johnston.
So now second time through the lineup, what does he do? He started everybody off with fastballs going right after guys, right? Second time through, nope, here we go. I'm going to start pitching backwards a little bit.
Off the end of the bat, down the right field side, a long run for the first baseman. But Murr could not quite get to it, but gave it a nice effort.
I like it. Good job, Murr. I like seeing first basemen getting out there and running after a foul ball. Get out there. Get out running. Show that you can do it. Oh, so close. I wanted to see a head-first dive, a Jim Edmonds style play. Yeah.
On the warning track and foul ground, huh? Instead of
Absolutely.
dead center field. Runner goes. Nobody there, and Baldelli has a stolen base, his third of the year. Somebody forgot to cover.
I think that's the one where if you're trash, you kind of just hold that one up when you see there's nobody on second. But I will say that was a pretty throw. It's just right over the base.
Luke Tresh said, I don't know if there's going to be anybody there to grab it, but I'm going
to still throw it.
I'm going to throw it. 1-2 to Dempsey. Foul.
I do like the aggressiveness right there with Gambino saying, you know what, let's try to get a guy in scoring position. I got Dempsey hitting. He's one of my better hitters on the team too. See if we can at least get a run back. Start chipping away.
Fouled, and that got some of the umpire, Danny Everett. And doing good courtesy from the catcher. He's going to get a little time. On the
right
mask.
in the face mask. Ooh, those legs buckle a little bit, but he's all right. He's tough. I think he just said, I've seen that 100 times.
It's probably been more than that. He just doesn't remember the other ones.
That's a good job by Tresh there, going out there and just, hey, let's give some time. Go talk to the pitcher.
Cal holding it 1-2 on Dempsey. Baldelli at second, 2 outs. It's a pretty nasty slider. Faded out of the zone.
That's a tough pitch. I had it a ball as well, so it doesn't look like the foul ball affected anything. His eyes are still there and still working good.
Again for Dempsey, 145 consecutive starts now with today. He's been their starting shortstop since 2019. Played a lot of games in 2018, but most of those at second base. 8th pitch of this at bat. And he's worked it full, Dempsey has, after falling behind in the count.
That's outstanding right there. What a great at-bat right here. Fouling off some tough pitches, laying off some even tougher pitches. See if you can get yourself right here as a hitter, see if you can work yourself back into a fastball.
Waited on the off-speed pitch, hit down the left field side, a long run. Minshik in foul ground can't get to it. As you can see, at this ballpark, Pellegrini Diamond, there's a lot of foul territory down the lines.
That's Reed Johnston right there saying, you know what, my guys have not gotten that much work, and I need them to get a couple extra sprints. So my corner guys, get yourself some extra sprint work real quick.
Yeah, a lot of foul ground as we get a good look from foul pole to foul pole. to third, across the diamond, Minchik, and it's picked out by Murr to retire the side. So BC gets their first hit. He comes from Baldelli. He's stranded, and after 3, NC State leads 6-0. Into the top of the 4th, North Carolina State leading Boston College 6-0. You're taking a look at Evan Moore, member of the Boston College baseball team. I'll tell you more about it. It's great to have him at the ballpark. Diagnosed with cancer back in January. First pitch strike. 9-1 and 2 batters for the Wolfpack. JT Jarrett leading off. Hit by pitch his first time. Every time I say the name JT Jarrett, I think of JT Barrett, who was the quarterback at Ohio State and won the national championship back in 2015. Two balls and a strike.
See, those are close pitches right there, but the problem is that if you haven't been in the zone, it's very hard for you to get those pitches called for you. He's got a 2-2 count right now, and again, he's got to utilize that fastball being in the zone. That way he's able to use that changeup, but I can see a changeup coming right here.
Shook something off. See what he brings. Goes heat, and it's high. Full count.
He shook off the changeup to go with the high heater. Try to overthrow that one, too. I don't think that's where he wanted to throw that pitch. Not on 2-2. So, Mark, we were talking about it, right? Oh.
Hey, let me remind you that number 20 Duke and number 10 Florida State ACC softball, conclusion of their Series 3 Eastern, coming up on Sunday here on ACC Network. There is a strikeout of Jarrett. Well, Evan Moore, right-handed pitcher for Boston College, was diagnosed with testicular cancer in November, and the good news is that with chemotherapy in late January, he got to ring the bell after the last chemo session and has been cancer-free. And he was able to surprise his teammates today before the game. This is before the game today that the team's huddled. They're wearing his jersey number and name on the jersey, and they don't realize who's coming inside from that right field corner. Here comes Evan, and he says, "Hey guys, what's up?"
That's awesome.
Great.
This has been an emotional game. Jeez, there's been a lot going on in this game.
Coach Gambino giving him a big hug. Happy to have Evan back with him, at least watching today.
Two and two pitch. He just threw that high fastball. You got to think something off speed's coming.
That's to left, and another base hit for NC State. And guess what? Austin Murr just keeps hitting. That for him makes it a 10-game hitting streak, and he's now reached base in 17 consecutive games.
Is that good?
That's not a... It's a pretty good little stretch, yeah.
Oh, man, it's impressive what some of these guys are doing, and Austin Murr just continuing just to absolutely rake.
Done a first pitch hack and hit hard. Moore set to Dempsey for one, and to first. They turn an impressive 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. 16th double play turned by the BC defense this season. Eagles are trying to get the bats going. They'll come up in the bottom of the fourth, trailing State 6-0. Well, Well, that 6-0 hole BC's trying to dig out of is because NC State scored 3 in the second, 3 in the third. Devontae Brown with a base hit to right field. Then a pickoff attempt got away. That allowed Tatum to score the second run of the inning, and they also went deep. Got a couple of home runs. Butler hit one, and there's Minshik hitting his second of the year. That was a 2-run shot in the third, so it's 6-0 North Carolina State as Boston College bats in the home half of the fourth, but they have the heart of the order up 2, 3, and 4, and leading off is Sal Frelick, the center fielder.
This is this inning right here. This is where Boston College really needs to do something and just get on the board. They need to put a crooked number up there. They need to try to get back into this ball game. And Reed Johnson, I don't know if he's going to let them do that because he's just been in attack mode.
2-1 to Frelick, who was called out on strikes in his first at bat of the first inning. Frelick on the Golden Spike Award watch list. No question the big league scouts have a close eye on Sal Frelick for the upcoming draft. And a 5-pitch walk puts the leadoff batter on base for the first time in the game for BC.
That's uncommon right there for Reed Johnston because he is a strike thrower and he's done nothing but that today. So to see a 5-pitch walk is very awkward, to say the least.
See his numbers through 3 innings, and that's the first walk he has allowed with 3 strikeouts, and he throws a first pitch strike to Cody Morissette.
And of course, it's that slur, right? Let's go ahead and pitch backwards. First ABs, I was throwing everybody fastballs. Here, I'm going to throw everybody off speed.
That's a high pop-up on the left side of the infield. Third baseman Minshik making the catch for the first out. So they get Morissette with 1 pitch. Head coach Mike Gambino's squad with just 1 hit so far. That was the Baldelli base hit with 2 outs in the third. And the walk to Frelick to begin this inning is their only other base runner off of Johnston. Frelick tied for the team lead with 6 steals. He's been caught twice.
This is probably the situation where you don't want to be stealing right now because you do have your strongest hitter, I would say, in Luke Gold up the bat with 8 home runs and 31 RBIs. You want to see if he can hit the ball out of the ballpark for you. Ooh, he's going for it.
Couple of big swings.
That's a good changeup. I was about to say this looks like a slider, but no, that's just a really good changeup. You can see that arm getting over the pronation on that hand.
Foul tipped into the glove of Tresh.
So what do you do after a really good changeup? Well, let's go high heat. Yeah, change up the eyes. You know, you go down low, change up the speeds. That's just a great job pitching.
No question. So far, the NC State right-hander Reed Johnston has been on. 6'3", 220-pound junior.
Now might be a nice little situation for Sal Frelick to take off and try to get into scoring position, especially with 2 outs.
And he goes on cue, and that's hit right to the first baseman, and Muir steps on the bag to retire the side. So Johnston works around that leadoff walk to Frelick, and we have finished 4. 6-0 NC State.
That's where we got the guys in the outfield just having a good time. Yeah, if they don't have a mask on, then don't worry about it.
So to the top of the fifth, North Carolina State has 7 of the game's 8 hits and leads 6-0. Mason Pelio, the starter out of the San Diego area and Rancho Bernardo High School of Boston College. Gave up a 3-run second, a 3-run third. Now faces the 3, 4, and 5 batters for State here in the fifth.
Now, what I did like to see out of Paleo was, you know, after giving up 3 in the second and giving up 3 in the third, a lot of pitchers, they would just fold. But he didn't. He got his first actual 1-2-3 inning in that fourth. So he just continued to just bear down and stay with it and go right after guys, which is what you want to see in your starting pitching.
Tried to bunt. Couldn't get it down. Butler behind a ball and 2 strikes.
Right now I'm saying, Butler, don't do that. Swing the bat. Come on now. You've got 3 home runs. You're hitting 300. Let's go.
Butler picked up his first triple of the season. His most recent at bat, leading off the third. Take a look at the pitching comparison between Pelio and Johnston so far.
And those are deceiving because you look at the walks, and yes, they both have only 1. The only other difference is that Mason Paleo has been falling behind a lot to these NC State hitters, and they're able to just key in on fastballs and fastballs alone.
4th full count now of the day for Pelio. And he walked him. Leadoff walk, and that's the second walk issued by Pelio, and puts the leadoff batter on base for the 3rd time in 5 innings for North Carolina State.
Yeah, for Pelio on that pitch right there, it just looked to me like he just tried to overthrow it. And pitchers have to understand it's not how hard you throw it, it's where you can pinpoint that location. You know, work down into the zone, work away, work in, make sure that you're working all the quadrants.
Luca Tress jumps on the first pitch, hits it to fairly deep left, still going back now, coming in a few steps back onto the green. It's caught by Cameron Leary.
Oh, that was a little scary right there for Paleo. I think he thought he may have gotten it. And then when you have Leary going back there acting like he's going all the way back to the fence, that heartbeat starts to raise up, and then all of a sudden he comes in. But I think that Luca Tress probably thought that he got it. So I wonder if the wind's knocking these balls down going out to left.
Torres squares and takes up and in. They ask for an appeal. Torres singled and scored in the second. Popped out his last time up. To right, coming towards the line. Baldelli into foul ground and got a glove on it. But can't come up with it, and then bangs into the wall.
Ooh, that was an awkward dive. That was almost an unbelievable play. And I think what happened was that on that dive, that momentum kept taking it, and he actually hit the head and neck kind of twisted when he hit up against the padding. Ooh, scary moment. I don't like to see that. Here he is. He's running. He's diving last second. His momentum keeps taking it. Look at his neck. Boom, right up against the padding of that wall. You can see him just grab the back of his neck as soon as he hits. Oh.
Training staff out checking on him. Of course, Dante, the younger brother, Twins manager Rocco Baldelli.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. We don't like to see that.
Yeah, nice to see. Looks like Dante's going to stay in there.
Don't shake too much now. Trying to shake the cobwebs out of there. This is probably a good moment too to try to explain to outfielders. That's where.
Well, the next ACC spring games on the schedule tomorrow, 1 Eastern, NC State has their game at Carter Finley Stadium. And then at 5 Eastern, Florida State's annual Garnet and Gold game at Doak Campbell Stadium here on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
So this is a good time to tell outfielders, usually when you're running that way, you go feet first. Because if a situation like that occurs, your feet are what's hitting that padding and not your head and neck area. So going out there towards that fence, you see you're getting close to that fence, feet first dive.
There he goes. Butler takes off, and it comes out of the hands of Burns. So no throw down to second. Johnny Butler now 7 for 7 in steal attempts this year.
Oh, this is just a beautiful jump. Nothing that you're going to be able to do. I don't care if you throw a 1-7 down to second base. You are not getting Johnny Butler on that one. Not on that good of a jump.
Fouled off by Torres. Jose had a couple of hits, couple RBIs in their win Tuesday over Appalachian State. And a strikeout for out number 2. That's 4 Ks for Mason Pelio.
That was a good changeup right there. That's what I think is a changeup because that ball had a lot of dive right there at the end. It just kind of fell off the table. That fastball is going to ride more in. That changeup is working its way down. That's a beautiful 2-2 pitch.
So Butler's at second with 2 outs for Terrell Tatum, the North Carolina State designated hitter. Tatum jumps on the first pitch, sends it to center. It's down. Butler headed for the plate. He will score. 7-0 NC State here in the 5th. And Tatum has his 13th RBI of the year.
And that's why that stolen base was huge by Butler getting into scoring position. And Tatum, he was not waiting on anything. Gets that fastball right down the middle, hits it back to where it came from using the big part of the field. And there ain't no way that you're going to get Butler because as soon as that ball gets hit, he is running. NC State today with runners in scoring position, they're 4 for 6 with 4 RBIs.
And add on here, Wojtek Minshikup, who had a 2-run home run to left his last time up. That home run was his 2nd of the season. Breaking ball is a good one.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to give you a fastball again. I saw what you did last time I threw you a fastball. You hit it through everything over there to left field. Here, hit this one now.
Gives it to him on the outside edge. No balls, 2 strikes.
See, now it's where you don't want to make your mistake. You've got pitches to play around with. It's an 0-2 count. You've got to work to be able to get that next pitch. I do like an elevated fastball again right here. That way you're able to use and utilize your second pitches.
It was elevated fastball, but the runner, Tatum, takes off and steals a base, his 4th of the year, and now he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
NC State right now, they're being very aggressive on the base path. They're stealing bases, and they're getting guys into scoring position. And he went around the base. He almost got off of that. If that throw is left right over the base, you're able to tag and keep that tag on. That's an out, and that would be unfortunate for Tatum.
Incheek hacks and fouls it off.
He got that changeup. So after that fastball up, which was a very good pitch, then all of a sudden you went with the changeup down. Now, as a hitter, and I got to really turn the field around because he can throw me 3 different pitches. He can throw me that curveball, he can throw me that changeup again, and he can come at me with the fastball.
Towards third. Cimini makes the throw across the diamond to retire the side, but not before North Carolina State adds on with one more. Midpoint of the 5th in Brighton, Mass. NC State leading 7-0.
That's him. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it is the most beautiful picture. I would say the word that's coming to mind is surreal. He lived and breathed Boston College. He just loved it, and baseball it took everything that he loved about Boston College and just made it bigger. So to be here in the Pete Frady Center on the campus of Boston College is, it's just surreal.
Those are the parents of Pete Frady's. His parents, John and Nancy, when they came in and saw the Pete Frady Center and this facility here, the Harrington Athletics Village, which is so impressive. Multiple sports, not just baseball, housed around here, softball as well. And obviously, mom and dad very taken by that life-size photo of their son prominently figured inside the Pete Frady Center. Big rip and a miss by Cimini, and it's 2-2.
There's been a lot of emotions in this ball game with all the stuff going on.
No question. The 9th annual ALS Awareness Game, and strike 3 is the 5th strikeout for Reed Johnston, who has been rolling along on the mound for NC State today.
This is an unhittable pitch right here, down and away at the knees. You could see how much that ball just comes right back over. That ball looks like it's going to be about a foot away. Outside corner, just runs all the way back for a strike.
Wow, that ball really did have some arm side run, didn't it, at the end?
Oh,
it
was
really tailed.
And he's been throwing that pitch really well today. Looking like it's, especially the lefties, look like it's coming in, it's going to be a ball, and then just jetting right back over the plate.
First 2-0 count of the game for Johnston, and he's going to get it out, it looks like, as Leary pops it up to second baseman Jarrett, having to follow it. That wind, from what I'm hearing, is blowing closer to about 15 miles per hour now in from right center towards that first base foul line.
It upgraded, and now it's dead.
Now it's going quiet.
So it's going from 5 to 15 to just kidding. I'm gonna make you guys look bad.
But all in all, beautiful day. A temperature in the mid-60s near the Boston area, and it's bounced to Jarrett, and a close play, but out at first. That's 6 in a row retired by Johnston, who was allowed only 1 hit and 2 base runners through 5. After 5, 7-0 State. Old Glory showing us that the wind is back. In Brighton, Massachusetts, 7-0 NC State leading BC as we go to the top of the 6th. This 9th annual ALS Awareness Game. And I guess the wind took somebody's balloon up into the trees.
Oh, there's a sad child out there just wanting the balloon back.
Our dog's still hanging out, though. Good to see.
It's dog day. Dog day at the park.
And it's just family that's allowed actually in the park. Now, there are some fans that are able on their own beyond center field that can find a vantage point. Leo misses down low. Both starters still going as we're into the 6th. North Carolina State with the 8-9-1 batters. Devontae Brown, 1 for 2. A single in the 2nd that drove in a run, and he would later score.
For Paleo, he just you see it all game, just struggling to get the ball into the strike zone, and you've been falling behind a lot today. And when you do that, you basically become that one-dimensional pitcher where you got to throw the ball over the plate. There's nothing else you can do. So as a hitter, you're saying, thank you. I know a fastball is going to be coming in this zone.
He misses a fastball up for a 4-pitch walk to Brown, and his 3rd walk. He's also hit 1 batter today. Leadoff batter on for the 2nd consecutive inning and the 4th time in the game for North Carolina State. Every time previously they have put the leadoff batter on base today, they have scored at least 1 run. Jarrett looking to give himself up. Pitch a strike. Throw down to 2nd is there. But he got the hand in apparently. That's a steal for Brown.
See, sometimes as a coach, you tell, hey, go ahead and bunt. But if you see that the guy has a very good jump on the steal, go ahead and take it back. Don't just bunt that ball down. And that's exactly what happened there. Brown, good jump, takes off, sees it. Jarrett sees it, takes the bat away, and says, fine, now I can bunt with you on second base, or I could just hit behind you.
Definitely got in safely. Pitch down to Jarrett. The North Carolina State team that lost the series to Clemson last weekend, and it was at home for NC State and Raleigh. Lost the first 2 games. Were able to win the final game to avoid being swept. Won 9-5 on Sunday. Got a non-conference win against Appalachian State on Tuesday, 13-2, which was win number 900 for head coach Elliot Avent, number 900 as the Wolfpack head coach. He has 1,123 wins total as a head coach. When you include his time at New Mexico State. JT hit by a pitch and struck out 0 for 1.
For Paleo right now, I'm not sure how many more pitches he's going to be able to get. He's around 94 pitches right now. So he's right at that breaking point. So that was pitch number 95. I'm thinking that he might just have either one more batter and they might have to go and get him.
Off the end of the bat, right side, Morissette on to first, and Brown now at 3rd with only 1 out. There is activity. John Campbell Jr., sophomore right-hander, loosening for Boston College. North Carolina State back to the top of the order, so the lineup rolls over again. This will be start of the 4th time through for Paleo, and he gets ahead of Murr.
That was a good changeup right there by Paleo. So they might be letting him try to get out of this inning. He might be at a pitch count of a little bit over 100. So
Murr singled in his last at bat to extend his hitting streak to 10 games and on base streak to 17. Picked up an RBI on a sac fly in the 2nd, and that's out to right center, and he may have another. Fralick with the catch, tagging. Here comes Brown. Throw to the plate will be late. And Austin Murray has 2 RBIs today. They have both come on sac flies. And North Carolina State bumps up the lead to 8-0.
But that does not happen right there if not for great team baseball by JT Jarrett. moving over Brown from second base. He basically said, hey, Austin Murr, I'm going to hook you up with an RBI right here and give yourself a little sac fly.
So you're going to say, I should get half that steak. That's
at least half a steak. You know? Hey, take me out for a burger, you know?
100th pitch of the game for Pelio is down low.
I like to see that by Coach Campino saying, you know what? You're going to stay in there. You're going to throw your pitches. Get through 6 innings. It really is the only way to see whether or not you're able to actually go over 100 and to prove it to yourself that you're able to do it.
Just got a piece. Well, the two best women's lacrosse matchups on the schedule are tomorrow. We'll have them for you here on ACC Network. Number 3 Syracuse against 6th-ranked Syracuse. Virginia, that is. They're not playing each other. The same team. In North Carolina, Notre Dame at 3 Eastern here on ACC Network.
I was going to say we're gonna have a Syracuse orange, Syracuse, orange and white game or whatever.
A lot of orange going on, huh?
Is he shaking off to throw the fastball? No, there it is.
Yeah, it's not a spring football game where teams actually do play themselves.
That would be fun to still watch, though. I'm in.
Nice pitch on the low inside corner, and strike 3 ends the inning. But North Carolina State able to add on with another run thanks to Murr's second sac fly of the game. This 9th annual ALS Awareness Game from Boston College moves to the bottom of the 6th. There are some cardboard fans in attendance, as has been pretty much the deal for, what, over a year now? Well, I say over a year. Since they started playing again, whatever sport you might want to include. Well, I know North Carolina State, Gabby, has scored 8 runs, but what has been more impressive, their offense or the fact that Reed Johnston has been outstanding on the hill for them today?
A little bit of both. What I'd like to see with NC State is their aggressiveness on the bases. I haven't seen that much in college baseball where guys are stealing, but I will say Reed Johnston, boy, he's looking really good today.
If I had to ask myself that question that I just asked you, Gabby, I know offense is great, but if you don't have pitching, you ain't got nothing.
No.
You know? And that is a hit by pitch, and Baldelli, who slid head first into the fence in the right field corner chasing a foul ball, just got beamed here to begin the home half of the 6th.
He's taking a beating today. This is one of those games that, right off the top of the hand, those hurt. You got all those little small bones on the top of your hand and you got all those blood vessels. All of a sudden you go to first base, you take off your glove, and you see sometimes you just got a big old bruise just brewing up. See, look, he puts a padding on his right hand right there.
Yeah. The oven mitt that they all started wearing in the big leagues a few years ago, so now they wear them in college.
That was not a hit by pitch right there. That wasn't because of the hit by pitch. That's for stealing the bases so you don't break a finger. I will say, though, I think that's cheating because there's too much space between your hand and the tip of that glove. It gives you a couple extra inches to get to second base.
That could be the difference sometimes.
Yeah. Look, I've never had to wear it because
they didn't wear it when you were playing, and that's only 7-8 years ago.
You know what? No, the fast guys started to wear it when I was playing. I just wasn't one of the fast guys, so I didn't need to worry about it. I wasn't stealing bases.
Dempsey sends a fly ball to left center. McDonough under it. One gone in the BC sixth. You know, I can remember the days as you look at Reed Johnston's numbers. How about this? 6 fly ball outs, 5 ground ball outs. He struck out 5. Talk about being equitable.
Yeah, he's having everybody, you know. Outfielders, you're your pop flies, and infielders, I'm going to give you ground balls, but I'm also going to strike out some guys because I want to feel good too. I love that. Share the wealth.
Frelick's up. Baldelli at first, 1 out.
Oh, this is what I want to see right here. Sal Frelick, he's coming up. It's a 2-0 count. He just finished getting walked his last AB on 5 pitches. And this is a fastball that's just up in the zone. Right now, if I'm Sal Frelick, I'm saying, pay the piper. Oh, and he was taken all the way.
3-0 on Frelick.
Listen, if you're taking 2-0, what do you think you're going to be doing on 3-0?
He gave it a good look, but he was taken all the way.
But now you can actually be aggressive with this. Of course, you're looking for just one pitch, a fastball right down the middle of the plate.
And he didn't get a fastball. He got a breaking ball away. That takes ball 4. That's the second walk allowed today by Johnston, and they've both been given to Frelick.
That's a interesting at-bat right there by Reed Johnston. It looks like he just did not want to give in to Sal Frelick. And sometimes the game plan coming into a game says, listen, I don't care if other people beat me. There's one guy that I will not let beat me. And it seems like right now it's Frelick. The only problem with that is you got an 8-0 lead. And you don't want to just start all of a sudden putting guys on base and losing, you know, your release point on throwing strikes.
Clint Chrysler, the pitching coach, with a quick visit. As you see, 75 pitches. He's been pretty economical. In fact, you look, he had 21 pitches just through the first 2 innings, threw 21 in the third, and then 12 in the fourth, 9 in the fifth.
He likes the 21 number, it seems like, every 2 innings.
He has, he's not had a real taxing inning. You know, the most would be the 21 pitches he threw in the third. There's his 13th pitch of this inning, and it gets away from Tresh and allows the runners to advance. So here's Boston College with their best scoring chance of the game off Johnston, with runners at second and third with only 1 out.
Yeah, Johnston right now, it looks like he's trying not to get hit, and you can't do that when you're up 8-0. You still got to attack the zone like you've been doing the whole entire game, and it's been very successful for you.
Lead runner Baldelli is at third base with Frelick at second. 2-0 pitch. Fouled by Morissette.
Yeah, for Morissette right there, I feel like that's just a little too big of a swing on 2-0. You're not going to be able to hit an 8-run home run. You want to just keep everything moving, keep everybody going, keep guys on base.
And there he paints the outside part. You know, Johnston had done such a good job, especially the first time or two through the order, of getting ahead of hitters. He had fallen behind 2-0 to 4 of the last 6 Boston College hitters. And now he sees it work to a full count.
And the issue right now is that as a hitter, you want to look for a fastball. The problem is throwing that curve on that change too for his pitches. So
we'll do it again.
And you do have that base open, but the only problem is that right behind him you got Luke Gold. So you kind of want to get out Morissette right here on this pitch, because then you at least have the ability, if you don't want to pitch to Luke Gold, to be able to put him on at first.
Second full count of the game for Johnston. Threw him a fastball that he fouled off.
Don't be surprised if you get that little slurve right here. Stays with the fastball.
8th pitch of the at-bat. Hit pretty deep to left field and should be deep enough to get the run home. Baldelli tagging, he'll score. Heading for third, and in with a slide, a head-first slide is Freilich. And a sac fly for Morissette, his 15th RBI, and BC's on the board. It's 8-1.
For Freilich, that's a dangerous play right there for a ball that's hit to left field, especially when you have Dante Baldelli coming home on the sac. So this ball is a little to the right, but you see him go back to tag up. This ball comes in. There's nowhere else it needs to go but to third base, but Freilich is just too fast. Outruns the baseball, which that's not easy to do.
And the risk there, obviously, Gabby, is if he were
tough.
tagged out before Baldelli touched home plate, that would be the third out, and the run would not have counted.
And that is exactly why I say that's a very dangerous play. And the reason why is because guess what? Freilich, you're fast. You could score from second on a base hit. So there's no need to try to go over to third.
It's sharply by Gold, and a base hit down the line and left is extra bases. Freilich scores. Gold coast into second. Boston College trying to fight back here in the 6th. They cut it to 8-2.
Just a beautiful job hitting right there. It gets the fastball. Listen, he struck out twice already today, so he was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts before this hit. He gets that fastball and just absolutely rips it down that third base line. I don't care who you're playing over there. You can be Arenado. You can be Arenado over there at third. You ain't catching that ball.
Luke Gold is such a good hitter. To me, Gabby, it seemed like he was, I'm not getting a hat trick right here. I'm swinging early in the count. If you give me something, I am hitting it hard, and he did. And picks up an RBI double.
Yeah, and you're right, and especially against Reed Johnson. Yes, he has his last couple of ABs falling behind, but he's going to throw you something that you can hit, and you want to be aggressive early on him, because if you get late and he's able to throw you those changeups and those slurve breaking balls, and he's able to throw that fastball that starts away and comes back over the plate, it's tough. He gets real tough on you. So being aggressive early is the right way to approach Reed Johnston.
Cunningham, base hit left side. Let's see how aggressive Gold is. He wants to try to score. Butler makes a throw home. It's cut off. Cunningham an RBI base hit, and BC has scored 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. With 2 outs, Gold did not hesitate and scores and gives Cunningham his 17th RBI.
This is 2-strike hitting. They're kind of playing on a shift a little bit. Does a great job of letting that ball get deep, smacking that ball in the 6 hole. But how about Luke Gold showing off the speed, scoring from second base on that ground ball hit to left field?
Reed Johnston was cruising along through 5 innings. He's in a speed bump here in the 6th. No activity in the NC State bullpen.
It doesn't even look like anybody's thinking about getting ready. This is quiet out there, just nobody doing anything.
As for an appeal, no swing by Cimini. This is the 28th pitch of the inning from Johnston. It's a strike. So I said he really had not had any taxing innings or high leverage innings. That has changed here in the 6th.
Did we jinx him? It happens. It happens.
And that's fouled away by Cimini. He had the 21 pitch inning in the third, but everything else was either single digits like in the fifth or low double digits until this sixth inning. He's about to throw his 30th pitch. A little bit low.
That's that pitch right there. It's just unhittable. You can't really do much. You're just hoping to turn around and ask the umpire to please call it a ball for you.
Well, Samini said, you gave me the benefit of the doubt on the previous pitch. I mean, I know I'm not sure you're going to do that again. So he fouled off a pitch that was even a little further out of the zone.
I love it. That's called just battling and knowing that, hey, if I have another close one like that, they're going to ring me up, so I'm not going to let that happen.
Challenged it with the heat.
Right now for Samini, he's got that leg kick, and it looks like the timing is just a bit off. That front foot is coming down a little too late, which is causing him to be late.
Got him. Fastball on the outside corner, and he gets Samini on strikes for a third time. But BC gets the offense going in the third. They pick up 3. Boston College lifts the starting pitcher, Mason Pelio. They go to the bullpen and bring out Detroit native, sophomore right-hander John Campbell Jr.
Campbell Jr., you're going to see a fastball, you're going to see a curveball, and you're going to see a changeup. You look at that ERA at 6.35, but he's only thrown in 5 2/3 of innings. So those high ERA numbers, and people look at, it's very early in the season with very low innings.
Pelio goes 606 pitches. Leading off for NC State, Johnny Butler, 3, 4, and 5, part of the order for the Wolfpack. Triple, a walk, a couple of runs scored. He's out of a stolen base. He chops this one to the right side. That's picked by Cunningham, who takes it himself, 3 unassisted.
Nice. I love to see good plays by first basemen, and that's what that was. That's actually an in-between hop. That's not an easy play. He's able to snag it and get the out. So here it is. It's a tough hop, and he's able to get it. That angle, we can't really see it, but I'm telling you that it was a tough play.
It's like a backhand short hop, wasn't it?
Yep. In between hop right there. Just great job staying on it and staying through it.
Ball hit deep towards left field. It's hit a long way and out. Luca Tresh, his team leading 8th home run of the season. 9-3 North Carolina State.
I will say this ball has not been traveling too much to left field because you got that wind that's coming in. So whenever you see a home run to left field today, you know that ball was absolutely mashed. Gets the fastball, and that's a no-doubter. Just absolutely hammered.
First pitch strike to Jose Torres. Down and away, 2 balls and a strike. Falls behind, 3 balls and a strike to Torres. That is a 5-pitch walk to Torres. coming up Tuesday, we have a great non-conference matchup on the ACC Baseball Network. ACC Network Baseball of number 15 Georgia Tech and Auburn out of the SEC. That's at Chandler Stadium in Atlanta. Coverage starts at 6 Eastern here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. We're partial to the baseball side, so we'll call it the ACC Network Baseball. You know, the halfway point of conference season, by the way, Gabby, is not until the end of this weekend for these two teams because of the 2 extra series added to conference play this year. They're going to play 36 games in conference, in theory, if they play them all.
And that's what's funny, because you start looking at the NC State, they're 5-10 in conference play, and Boston College, they're 4-11. There's still room to be able to be made up. If you start playing good baseball, especially here late, you can make up some ground and put yourself in a good position to go into that ACC tournament. In theory.
Fouled off by Tatum, so take a peek at the standings, both divisions. Right now, North Carolina State and BC towards the bottom there, at the bottom of the Atlantic, but again, a lot of baseball to go. Just getting to the midpoint of conference play in the ACC. You know, Boston College trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth from last week, and they lost 2 of 3 at Virginia Tech. Won the opener 7-3, and then the last 2 games were absolute heartbreakers. Game 2, they get up 3-0. They give up, actually got up 5-0 in that game. Gave up walk-off in the 9th, lost 6-5, and then in Game 3, that's the game they got up 3-0 and wound up losing 4-3. So they lost a couple of heartbreaking games, Games 2 and 3. They probably feel like, hey, we should have swept that series at Virginia Tech instead of dropping 2 and 3. When you go up and down the lineup for NC State today, everybody in the batting 9 has reached base, either with a hit, a walk, or a hit by pitch in the case of JT Jarrett.
Well, that's how you win some ball games, right? Getting guys on, getting guys in.
Hitting with runners in scoring position.
9 hits. Yeah. 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
That's hit number 3 today for Tatum. Torres down to second. Terrell Tatum, the DH for NC State, has a 3 for 4 game going.
I love when guys hit the ball back up the middle and use the big part of the field. It's just something that makes me happy. You get that pitch, you stay inside of it, you're not trying to do too much. Your hands are getting close to your body, you're able to get the barrel to the inside part of that baseball and then just drive it right back up the middle. If you're able to do that, you're going to be very successful.
Mike Gambino coming out of the dugout, and he's going to make a pitching change. John Campbell Jr. faces 4 batters. And BC will bring in their 3rd pitcher of the game. With the pitching change, we'll take a quick timeout. NC State has a 6-run lead near the top of the 7th. New pitcher for Boston College is Norwood, Mass native, freshman right-hander Joey Ryan.
Again, you got a fastball, you got a breaking ball, you're going to have a changeup to go along with it. 3-pitch mix.
He inherits a couple of base runners. This game has been the big story. The North Carolina State offense getting out at one point to an 8-0 lead before BC scored all three of their runs in the bottom of the 6th. And the starting pitching for Reed Johnston of NC State. We did not allow a run through the first 5 before allowing that 3 spot in the 6th, but 2 on base for NC State. Minchik has hit a 2-run home run to left today, 1 for 3. Looked like he wanted to hit another one right there.
He wanted to hit a 3-run homer this time with that huge cut.
Home run was his second of the year. Ryan steps off.
Yeah, for Joey Ryan, he's just trying to come back. His last 3 appearances haven't been where he wanted it to, where he's gone 2 1/3, given up 11 earned runs. That's where you see that high ERA. So he's trying to have a bounce back after those 3 games.
That hit him. Just grazed him. And will load the bases for the Wolfpack.
And that ball just got away from him right there. That ball ran a lot. There was a lot of movement on that pitch. It was a changeup that just kept going, and it just barely hits the jersey. That's if you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's exactly how you want to get hit by a pitch. No ice needed on that one, or cold spray.
Praise the jersey. Torres, Tatum, and Minchik on base. For Devontae Brown, Wolfpack this year with the bases loaded as a team, hitting .450, 9 for 20. But Ryan starts it out with a strike on the outside edge to Brown.
And they're staying their defense the same as how they started off earlier with Brown. Everybody's shaded. They're actually playing them pull.
High chop. Shortstop makes the play and gets the out at first, Dempsey, but it scores Torres. And North Carolina State has double digits. It's 10-3. Well, number 20 Duke and number 10 Florida State, a couple of the top teams in ACC softball. They play the series finale of a big 4-game set on Sunday at 3 Eastern. You can watch ACC softball all season long here on ACC Network and live on the ESPN app. This is the 6th time this year that North Carolina State has gone double digits, 10 or more runs in a game. Speaking of softball, there's the Boston College softball team playing Syracuse in a doubleheader.
Syracuse versus Syracuse?
It's not an inter-squad game. Syracuse made the trip to Brighton, Massachusetts to actually play the Boston College softball team. You're not going to let me live that one down, are you?
I can't. I have to have some fun with you a little bit.
Yeah. But it gives you an idea of the facility, the Harrington Athletics Village, which opened a couple of years ago, I think 2018. Just a absolutely spectacular, gorgeous facility.
It is. That's a beautiful facility. And I'm trying to, I mean, is that infield, is that a turf infield? And then is it dirt, or is that like turf too? Because it looks like the mound is actually turf, but it actually does look like it has dirt, but I think it's all turf.
Yeah, it's all turf. You know, as you and I are working remotely here, and
yeah, look at that.
Two count. The weather has cooperated today in the mid to upper 60s. A little bit of a breeze at times. Hold foul. Today, the 9th annual ALS Awareness Game. Also honoring Pete Frates. And for North Carolina State, Chris Combs. See them all wearing number 26, which was Chris Combs' number. He was a team captain 94 to 97. In fact, his last year playing was Elliott. That's down and away. The freight train. Pete Frates Remember his career, of course, that Beanpot home run he hit in April of 2006 at Fenway into the right field bullpen. And just one of the many great memories he brought on the field. And diagnosed at age 27 in 2012 with ALS. Passed away at 34 years old after a 7-year battle with ALS in December of 19. And Chris Combs was diagnosed in 2016 with ALS. Passed away September 3rd of last year in 2020 at age 45. But both not only inspirational in their life, but key in raising funds, millions of dollars in funds for ALS research. You know, the Ice Bucket Challenge is a American culture legend. August 2014. It's hard to believe it's been almost 7 years ago now, Gabby, but we all did it. That's how big a deal it was.
Oh, I did it and had other guys do it. And when they asked me to do it, I was all in. I was on board.
I think it's the only time I've had an ice bucket thrown over my head. So
how'd you do yours?
I had my son do it. We kind of, you know, because you challenged somebody.
Yeah.
You would say, I challenge, and you threw out your buddy's name or whoever, and you got dumped, and then it was on them. You know, and they had to pass it on. And that was such a great idea, and it raised so much money. When I see there over $200 million at that point.
Yeah, that's a good amount of money.
Yes. That is a walk to Brown in the NC State 7th. Keeps going. It was an 11-pitch battle between those two right there, and Brown eventually working his second walk of the game.
I believe that was Jarrett, right? Was that Jarrett that got the walk? I believe so.
That was Jarrett who picked up the walk, pardon me. There's the lead runner. The base is loaded. Joey Ryan back to work. The top of the order up in Austin Murr.
Oh no, this is who you want to see with bases loaded right now and 2 outs.
Well, they asked 2 sac flies today, and I can pretty much
guarantee
he can't do that right now with 2 outs. It does have a base hit, a single in the 4th. It's Sharpley playing on that outfield part of the turf. Morissette throws out Murr, but North Carolina State got a Tresh home run. They add on. Time to stretch at BC. NC State up 10-3. A look at the line score gives you an idea of this one. NC State, a 3-run second, 3 more in the 3rd. Actually got out to an 8-0 lead before Boston College scored their 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th. North Carolina State just added on with 2 in the top of this 7th. They still have their starting pitcher, Reed Johnston, on the mound, and he throws a first pitch strike to Cam Leary.
I just love the way that Reed Johnston is just working, right? You've got a 10-3 lead. I don't care. I'm still going to go back-to-back curveballs to start off this AB.
He had a 33-pitch 6th inning, which added to a pitch count which had been pretty economical until that point. But he's about to throw his 100th pitch of the game right here.
Yeah, right now it just looks to me like he's kind of lost it a little bit. That release point is not where it needs to be in these last 2 innings. You started to see that falling behind on a lot of hitters.
It's the inner half. Full count.
Just right on the inner half. I think that's a strike as well.
Count staying full on Leary. Bottom 3 up here in the Boston College 7th.
Got
a shift on the right side.
Shift going out there. They're talking about in the big leagues to maybe start to limit the amount of times that you can shift in a game.
Lost in ball 4. Lead-off walk to Cameron Leary. Think that's a good idea or not? Bad idea. The big leagues.
You know what? It's hard to say. I would like to limit the shift so that it's not so much. But I think that on certain guys, yes. On certain guys, no.
First pitch strike. Great to have you with us as part of this ALS Awareness Game, 9th annual game. Mark Neely along with Gabby Sanchez. Glad you could join us. North Carolina State is the team, at least to this point, that has made the statement in this game, Gabby.
Yeah, they have. They've just been doing everything. They've been aggressive on the base pass. They were falling behind in counts. They were able to get some good pitches to hit some balls out of the ballpark. It's a very good team, this NC State ball club.
What else has stuck out for you besides the fact that Johnston, man, he's getting after it on more than 100 pitches already in this game?
Well, it's just impressive. One, that they're just leaving them out there. Usually on a 10-3 ball game, you're going to say, okay, hey, it's time for you to go ahead and go and let's get somebody else in there. But they're doing their best to say, no, we want you to throw and get over 100 pitches, because if you're able to do that now, then we know that you can do that later on in the season. He has a couple complete games, I believe, too. So he's probably gone over 100 a couple times.
NC State has gotten Cooper King up in the bullpen. I think if Johnston's able to get through this 7, this would definitely be his last frame. Is King getting hot?
Yeah, the last thing that you don't want to do as a coach is to have a guy with a wonderful outing, then all of a sudden lose it, you know, in that 6th and 7th inning. 1, they're getting a little bit tired. 2, they're not able to finish their pitches. So it's something to take a look at as he just drops down a nasty hammer. Thanks for coming on that one. That's a tough one.
2-2 to Baldelli. Breaking ball inside and a full count.
Baldelli nearly got hit again in the hand. He's probably thinking, can you just stay away from me, please? Just throw something on the outside corner. No more getting hit by pitch.
Got him to chase a breaking ball away and off the plate. And instead of what would have been ball 4, that's a strikeout, 2 outs.
I think that's what happens right there when you get that one and you see it. It starts away. It starts on the plate, and it just continues to keep riding. So as a hitter, you know, you kind of have to protect a little bit. And you see that pitch. It looks like a good one, and it just kind of rides away on you.
Well, Reed Johnston is going to see his afternoon come to a conclusion. 110 pitches through 6 2/3. There's one man on base, Leary, that's still his responsibility. So the book not completely closed on Johnston, but all in all, especially the first 5 innings, Gabby, he was dominating in this game.
The first 5 innings, he was just outstanding, working the ball in and out, getting ahead of hitters. And when you're doing that as a pitcher, it's hard to beat you.
Well, North Carolina State goes to the bullpen for the first time today, and it comes in the bottom of the 7th inning with State up 7, and they bring in freshman Cooper King.
Cooper King, he's got a low 90s fastball with a changeup and a slider. And he's got a good one. You can see it with that ERA at 2.45 in 7 1/3 inning. He's only given up 3 hits in those 7 1/3 inning.
He's going to face the top of the order with 2 outs in the 7th. Back to Reed Johnston, the starting pitcher for NC State. He needed only 63 pitches to get through the first 5 innings. but he threw 47 pitches in his last inning and 2/3. So he definitely was not as economical as he was the first 5.
No, and you could just see, I think that was just fatigue that was getting the best of him, and that's what happens when a pitcher starts to get a little bit tired. He becomes a little bit more erratic and starts falling behind a little bit more, and that's exactly what happened to Reed, especially after that 5th inning.
BC shortstop Brian Dempsey looking for his first hit of the day, 0 for 3 so far with a couple of fly ball outs and 1 on the ground. Picked up a home run in that last series against Clemson back on March 26th.
That's that lone home run this year.
That's it. Hit 1 last year in the 15 games he played in before COVID ended the season. His career high is 3 in 19.
You got to check the boxes, you know. Get that home run and check. Get the double and check and triple and check, and there you go. You filled up everything. There's no more zeros.
Regardless of how few games you played, as Boston College last year played 15. NC State played 17 before COVID stopped things. And again, these two teams were about to play in Raleigh when the word came down that college sports was off. Whoa.
Oh. Whoa.
Lost his footing there and walks Dempsey.
And here it's the ephus. It's the ephus pitch. It's the one that they're teaching. It's tough to throw a strike with it, but if you can, it's very effective.
He actually didn't commit a balk. He got the pitch to the plate. It just happened to be ball 4.
You know what, though? I feel like that is a balk. There's no way that can't be. You move 5 feet before you let that ball go. I just think they just let it go and say, we'll let you get the base on ball.
So Fralick coming up. Couple of walks today for South Fralick. Hitting at Fralick now at 364. Still leading the team. Definitely one of the top hitters, not only in the ACC, but one of the great pure hitters in college baseball.
Yeah, he's one of these guys that he's going to be taken in this draft, and he's going to go somewhere high, because I hear that he's one, if not one of 2 of the best position players in the draft this year. As he
That's going to bring in Leary. And he says, Gabby, let me show you that I can't hit. I'm going to get my first hit of the game right here to impress you and the scouts that are out there. Didn't exactly blister one, but he gets an RBI, his 20th of the season, and makes it 10-4.
Hey, Sal, you don't have to try to impress me. I'm already saying that you're good. You don't have to show me anything. But that was a great job of hitting. Take it right back up the middle. He gets himself an RBI. Now it's 1st and 3rd. And now, hey, BC's got some things going.
They do.
They could do something here. They keep getting these hits and getting guys in. They could still turn this into a very good ball game.
Got the heart of the order coming up here. More set, but going to get a visit from the pitching coach, Clint Chrysler.
We've been talking about NC State and what they've been doing with guys with runners in scoring position. But how about Boston College with runners in scoring position? They're 3 for 4 today. So they've been doing some big things.
That's Kobe Engel, a right-hander, getting ready for NC State. And it looks like the call has been made. So the freshman Engel will come in to pitch for NC State with 2 on, 2 outs. And a run in for BC here in the 7th. We'll step aside, 10-4, NC State leading. NC State and Boston College playing one another first time since 2019. They were about to play one another last year when COVID stopped the season. You look at what Boston College, they actually had gotten to Raleigh for the series before word came down, and then on the 13th they left Raleigh, went back to the Boston area. You know, Boston College last year was 6-9 when the season ended. They were 0-3. They'd been swept by Clemson. North Carolina State, you know, they started 12-0 last year. They had lost 2 of 3 in their only ACC series against Virginia. But North Carolina State started 19-0 2 years ago in 2019, which was the best start in school history. Hate to bring up bad memories from last year when baseball and all other sports just stopped, but it's interesting to hear the stories, different teams and different angles. At some point, as we see Kobe Ingle in the game now, his 5th appearance of the year.
He's been having a pretty nice one. 4 2/3, only giving up 4 hits, hasn't given up an earned run, where right now that's what they're hoping he can do, is shut this inning down.
He inherits runners at the corners, 2 outs, throws ball 1 to Cody Morissette. Nice ball strike. Morissette, a sac fly, is 0 for 2 officially. Sends that in the air to left center field, but Butler over in the alley to make the catch. Boston College settles for 1. We have finished 7 innings. North Carolina State leads Boston College 10-4. This game moves to the top of the 8th inning from the Harrington Athletics Village, Brighton, Massachusetts. Mark Neely, Gabby Sanchez. NC State has a 10-4 lead, the opener of this 3-game series. And also today, the 9th annual ALS Awareness Game. First pitch strike. Tyler McDonough today, 0 for 3 with a walk back in the first. Little nubber, bare hand. Samini throws late. And McDonough gets his first hit on a ball that rolled about 45 feet from home plate.
We call this a swinging bunt, and a lot of times they're very effective. It's just ball right off the end of the bat. But look at the hustle. He smelled the hit and he wanted it. He went to go get it.
Johnny Butler, the left fielder.
I'd liked actually to see Joey Ryan throwing that fastball in, because when you're doing that to a lefty, if you're really able to get that fastball in on them, what happens is lefties start to open up that hip, and when they start opening up that hip, it gives you that whole entire outside corner.
So now with McDonough with that base hit, everybody the top 8 for NC State has at least 1 hit. Jarrett in the 9 spot does not have a hit, but he's reached base twice with a walk and a hit by pitch.
That should count.
Yeah, it's been a team effort for NC State up and down the order.
It's got to count. You got on base. That's what you needed to do. You're seeing it, the aggressiveness that NC State had, especially early on in the game. Now pitchers are just picking over, trying to keep everybody close at first base now.
Butler takes inside, runner takes off, and then with the head first slide, a steal for McDonough, his 5th of the year.
Not much that you can do there if you're Burns behind the plate. You're just stealing off the pitcher, and if you get that good of a jump, I don't care how fast you are getting rid of the baseball, you're not going to be able to do much. This is a high leg kick. There's not much you can do really quick, but not enough time.
Ryan falls behind, 3 balls and a strike.
So right now, I know it's a 10-4 ball game and you're looking at it, but you still got man on second on a 3-1 count. I'm looking to pull. Being a lefty, if I mess up, it's okay. Got a guy over to third base at least for the ball club.
Right at the bottom of the zone, strike call, full count.
That is a lot of movement with that fastball.
Hit sharply right up the middle and a base hit. McDonough heading for the plate. He'll score the 11th run of the game for the Wolfpack. Second RBI today for Johnny Butler.
What a great swing by Johnny Butler right here. He gets the fastball again. On the 3-1, he got a fastball and it was down. He didn't want to chase it, and I respect the guy for that. So what does he get? He gets a 3-2 pitch. It's a little bit more elevated. It's out over the plate, and he doesn't miss it.
That chase did McDonough. Still nobody out here in the North Carolina State 8th. And a visit to the mound by Alex Trezza, pitching coach. Well, the next ACC spring games coming up on the football side tomorrow, including North Carolina State. They have their game at 1 Eastern from Carter Finley Stadium. And then at 5 Eastern, it's Florida State's annual Garnet and Gold game from Doak Campbell Stadium. You can see both spring football games right here on the ACC Network as well as the ESPN app.
So you know what happens when you're playing a baseball game and the hitters, they're hitting, right? Well, there's nothing that demoralizes a pitcher more than 2 strike hits. Well, NC State, 6 of their 12 hits have come with 2 strikes.
That is demoralizing.
You think you got him. You got him on the ropes. You know, you got him where you want him. And NC State has just done an outstanding job. And most of those hits have gone right back up the middle. They're not trying to pull. They're going middle to away.
Luka Trash, who homered in his last at bat, has a couple of hits, couple RBIs. The home run was a solo shot to left.
It was a bomb. You got all of that one.
Butler has a steal today. In fact, he's
I like
7
it.
for 7.
Yeah, 0-2 count. Why not? Steal. If you get out, fine. If you don't, you're on second base and you're giving Tresh a guy in scoring position.
Whacks that over the head of the shortstop Dempsey into left center field. All the way to third. Races Butler. And NC State has first and third with nobody out. Third hit of the game for Tresh.
And how about another 0-2 pitch? for a hit, which means it's another hit with 2 strikes. It's that curveball, just it hung up there. It didn't have that bite that Joey Ryan wanted on it. Hits it good enough. A little top spin on that hit too. Got on top of it a little bit.
So the 7th 2-strike hit today for NC State out of their 13 total hits today, and that is a balk committed by Ryan, and it allows Butler to score and sends Tresh to second base.
Yep. That Burns, he's trying to tell him to step off. He didn't like it. And right here, Joe, you see he starts to go with that right foot, and you can't do that. Once that right foot starts, you got to just keep going with it.
So now an 8-run lead for NC State, which gives them their original 8-run lead back. They were up 8-0 going to the bottom of the 6th today. Strike to Torres, 0-2. Two runs scored today for Torres. A walk and a hit. He's been on base a couple times. Three homers this year for Torres, and they've all come in conference play. One against Miami, one against Louisville, and then one at North Carolina.
Joey Ryan needs to waste a pitch right here. Throw a fastball up high, you know, eye level. But he's throwing way too many pitches with 2 strikes that are just too close to the plate. They're too good at hitting pitches. So you need to be able to waste a pitch every once in a while, especially when guys get into scoring, into swing mode. So just, let's elevate this fastball eye level.
Still 0-2.
It's just everything's too close. Even that curveball right there didn't have the bite that he wanted.
But that's summary today. Just outside, 1-2.
For me, that's just, it's kind of like a wasted pitch. It really does nothing. You want to be able to at least set up another pitch. And when you go out there like that, for me, it really doesn't do that.
Off the end of the bat, skies that to right. Baldelli, he's waiting on it. Tagging, heading for third, and in with a slide goes Tresh. So it turns in a productive out, so to speak, for Torres, who does advance Tresh over to third with 1 out.
That's just good base running too right there by Tresh. Gets on second base, sees that the ball is going to be deep enough, and knows that he's able to tag from second to get to third.
It's been a very good day with the bat for the designated hitter of the pack, Terrell Tatum. 3 for 4. 3 singles, a run scored, stolen base. His day began back in the 2nd. Began offensively anyway. Bunting, just trying to advance a runner, and bunted so well it turned out to be a bunt base hit.
Oh, it was a beauty, all right. Those are the ones where you executed so well that you got yourself a knock because of it. Because he scored around early. That wasn't a late trying to bunt it down the third base line late for a hit. Now he scored around early, and he showed that he was going to bunt.
Whacks this one deep to center. Fralick on the run. It's going to be over his head and bounce up against the fence. Tresh scores all the way to third. Goes Tatum, who has had a 4-hit game. There's his first extra base hit of the game. It's his 2nd triple of the season.
He is fast. He hit this ball. Now, Frelick, he was playing in. I think all outfielders are playing in on this. But he crushes this ball to center field. You're talking about a ball that gets all the way to the warning track from the left-hand side. But then the speed is just something special. Easily getting into third.
So we're going to have another pitching change for Boston College as John West comes into the game for BC. So with the Boston College pitching change, take a quick timeout. We're in the top of the 8th. NC State now up by 9. "14 hits for NC State now as they lead 13-4, top of the 8th. And freshman right-hander, 6'8" tall, 250 pounds. Big John West into the game.
And big he is. That's a hoss on the mound right there. He's 1-0 with a 2.89 ERA and 9 1/3 innings. He's only given up those 12 hits. But those base on balls, that's the big one right there. That's the key. You got to watch out for those.
Well, today is the 9th annual ALS Awareness Game. John West, who's now pitching for Boston College, lost his dad, Ken, in 2014 to ALS. John West calls Pete Frates his hero. And ALS affected John directly in his family with his father. John West getting a chance to pitch on this 9th annual ALS Awareness Game.
I know emotions get high too, because he knows what kind of a special game this is and what it means. Right now, you just kind of step back, take a deep breath, try to get your emotions in check. And I know it's hard. It's not easy to do that when you're pitching in a game where it's about ALS and you've lost your father to it. So it's one of these difficult moments for a young pitcher.
4-pitch walk to Minshik. The runners are at the corners with 1 out. By the way, for Terrell Tatum, that's the first 4-hit game of his career. A couple of runners on for Devontae Brown, the North Carolina State right fielder.
For Devontae Brown, he's looking for his 3rd RBI of the game. He got one his last at-bat, even though he grounded out to shortstop. He was able to get an RBI in. So he's looking at a 1 for 3 day so far with 2 RBIs. Chance for another.
Takes a strike. Pick-off attempt back to first safely is Minshik. Well, the high this season for runs in a game is, see the pickoff attempt just a little late. 1 and 2. High for runs in a game this year for North Carolina State is 14. That was March 2nd against Campbell. So they're knocking on the door of that. Breaking ball away, 2 and 2.
That's a big breaker.
From a big guy at 6'8".
From a big guy.
Breaking ball's got to look like it's starting coming out of the sky.
Oh, he's throwing that thing. It's popping up. It's probably going right over the batter's eye over there in center field. You're losing it.
Really close near that low outside corner, but off the plate and a full count.
Right now for Devontae, you got to be looking fastball and be ready, because it's coming in there. It's got some heat to it, and he's 6'8", which means that arm angle and that hand, that release point about halfway to home. He's almost placing the ball where he wants to in the glove.
Check on Mincheek again.
Pretty quick on the move to first base, too. 6'8" with some footwork.
Do it again.
Brown expanding the zone just a little bit. Something that you could do, too. You don't want that strike 3 called by the umpire. If you think it's going to be close.
Brown hits one down the right field side, fair and into the corner. Tatum scores. Mincheek, he's going to come in as well. 2-run double for Devontae Brown, who's now knocked in 4 today, and North Carolina State has a new season high for runs in a game. It's 15-4.
That's just a beautiful job hitting right there by Brown. That's the second time that he's gone opposite field for a hit, and this just lets the ball travel. It's out there. That's a ball. That's about 4 inches off the plate, but the 3-2 pitch before that one was the same exact location. This time he was able to stay behind it a little bit better and just rips a double down that right field line.
Well, now it's been a 5-run top half of the 8th for North Carolina State. JT Jarrett.
He's looking at this going, come on, let me not be the only guy that not get a hit. There's always one. There's always one. Now, luckily, he's gotten on base a couple times, but there's always that one guy that on big games like this just does not get the hit. And JT Jarrett saying, I don't want that to be me this time.
Well, he has a 500 on base percentage today.
Yeah.
He has been hit by a pitch and walked, officially 0 for 2, so 4 plate appearances. He's reached twice, but the only one of the hitting 9, as Gabby was alluding to, that does not have a hit.
He wanted it on that one.
Very difficult guy to strike out. In fact, toughest in the ACC and number 17 in the nation. So let's see what happens with a 2-2 count. Striking out about once every 14 at bats.
That's impressive. That's good hand-to-bat coordination.
Full count.
I saw Tyler Martin up there for Florida State. He's very impressive with that too, being able to just get barreled to a baseball. Same thing with JT Jarrett, not striking out that much. That's pitchers right now are throwing much harder and nastier.
It's out to center field. Freilich will hold the runner Brown at second base. So Jarrett flies to center for the second out. That's going to bring back the top of the order, Austin Murr, and he will be the 9th batter to come to the plate here in the top of this 8th inning.
Tell you what, NC State has been real good with runners in scoring position. Today they're 7 for 15. Against Appalachian State, they were good too, 7 for 14. So really it's 14 for 29 in their last 2. That's a 483 average with runners in scoring position.
The hit from Murr came in the 4th. He has 2 sacrifice flies, accounting for the 2 RBIs he has today. See what they've done today on both sides. Boston College, when they've had the opportunity, have done pretty well with runners in scoring position. Just not near as many opportunities.
Murr's got his hit, so he's fine. You know, he's like, all right, I got my hit. I could relax.
Extended his hitting streak to 10 games and on-base streak to 17. He's had a 5-hit game this year. That was early in the season, February 22nd, against North Carolina Greensboro.
Is that Luka Tresh also had a really good game that day also, right? I think he got a 4-hit game on that one. I believe he was 4 for 5 as well, with a home run and a double.
Yeah, that was
wrong?
a rough. No, you're right on target. That was a rough day for UNCG. I'll tell you that. They ran into some hot hitting for NC State.
You know, it's funny when you're doing notes, because we do a lot of notes on these, and you write down some notes because it's not in front of me, and then I just kind of remember for some reason that, and then you came up and mentioned it.
Tops at 1 to first. Cunningham can't come up with it, and everybody's safe. Brown moves over to third. Murr is on base, and NC State has batted around.
It's going to be interesting to see what they call this one. Cunningham right there on that one kind of goes down to his legs, sliding kind of grab to get it. It's a bouncer. Goes down to try to get it. I think it just hit right on the palm of his hand and bounces right out.
Scored a base hit. So second hit for Murr. Here's Tyler McDonough, who began the inning with an infield hit on a swinging bunt to the third baseman Samini. He went around.
Yeah, he did. I call that one I am telling myself before this pitch comes that I'm going to swing, and no, don't do it. Oh God, I did it.
Bounced up the middle and into center. Brown scores. Murr to second hit of the inning for Tyler McDonough. His first RBI of the game and 17th of the season.
Now you're going to start seeing NC State. They're going to start going base to base. You're not going to see them stealing anymore. It's already a 12-run lead, and it's the top of the 8th.
North Carolina State, left fielder, number 14, Johnny Butler.
Well, McDonough has a 2-hit inning, and now Johnny Butler with an opportunity to accomplish that as well, as he singled home McDonough earlier in this frame. And this is the first game of a 3-game series. They play at 3 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. You can see both those games on ACC Network Extra. Strike to Butler.
He has a hitter right now. You got to know that strike zone's going to expand a little bit now. You're going to start getting maybe 1 or 2 inches off the plate a little bit to try to get this inning going and moving.
It's been a nice, consistent zone from Danny Everett, our plate umpire today, but I understand what you're saying. When it's a 12-run game and it's late, it's like, hey, guys, all right, swing the bat.
Start swinging. And I've had umpires that tell me as I walk up, hey, I'm expanding, so don't get mad at me. The problem
Did they do that in the big
that
leagues? Did you have big league umpires say that to you?
No, not big league. Because
Okay.
that big league umpire says that. Every once in a while, though, you know what, though? Every once in a while, a big league umpire on a 11, he'll call a pitch, and you turn around and go, come on, man, that's a ball. And he'll look at you and say, seriously? Come on. Like basically saying, come on, man.
Ball 4. When we're finished here, we'll send you to Florida State, Louisville. It is going to start on ACC Network Extra. It's just a couple minutes away from the start of that. And we're going to get another pitching change for Boston College. Daniel Baruch, sophomore, comes in, BC trying to get out of this top of the 8th. It's been an ugly one for them. 16-4 State right now. 6'1", 220-pound left-hander Daniel Baruch makes his 4th appearance.
Yeah, for Baruch, he's just basically trying to come in and just get out of this inning, get one more out, get the team back into the dugout, and stop the bleeding right now that NC State is putting on BC.
It's been a 6-run inning so far for NC State. Luka Tresh is going to be the next hitter. He's going to be the 12th batter to come up in this inning for the Wolfpack.
It's been a 30-minute half inning so far.
It has indeed. That ball gets away. And in comes the 7th run of the inning. As Murr crosses the plate.
Yeah, this ball just gets away right here. It's coming right in. And that's what happens sometimes when things are going bad. They're just going to go bad, and there's nothing that you can really do to stop it.
When it rains, it pours sometimes, right?
Yeah, this is a thunderstorm for sure.
Home run for Tresh today. That came an inning ago. Earlier in this frame, he singled and scored. Well, 3 hits today. He's ahead in the count 3-0.
For Baruch, you know, it's really hard when you get into a position like this and you just have to kind of in your own mind say, hey, there's nobody on and I just need to attack the hitter.
There's a strike. Here's the home run he hit out to left an inning ago.
Yeah, just a fastball up in the zone, and he did not miss it. That ball is out of here, and it was out of here in a hurry, too, even though it was up high.
5-pitch walk. So that'll reload the bases for Jose Torres.
Ooh,
keeping watch, the Hawk.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Can't see the talents, but those things would tear you up.
Tell them to keep an eye on that puppy dog that's out there.
It's a bad visual. Carnazzo's going to pinch run. Redshirt junior out of Monterey, California. And I know how Sal Fralick feels right now out there in center field. Wanting this inning to end at some point, and he may get a chance to do it, or can he catch up to it? Long run, he can't get there. With a diving attempt, McDonough in, Butler in. All the way to third base goes Torres with a base clearing triple. Wow, North Carolina State's offense has now put up 20 runs. And 10 here in this inning alone.
He didn't like that one right there. And sometimes I was just going to say, when a guy's like that and there's been a lot of walks, he's trying to get on your heels, but that wasn't that one. He's going all out still. It doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter what where in the inning they are. You could see he just lays out completely. But Jose Torres, man, what an outstanding swing on that one. Deep drive to left center, clears the bases, 3 RBIs on that one.
Second triple of the season for Jose Torres. He gets RBIs 14, 15, and 16 on the year with that swing. Here's Tatum, who tripled earlier in the inning for his 4th hit of the game, which is a new career high for him. 4 hits in a game, and he has a chance for a 5-hit game right here. Nice stab by Peter Burns. to prevent that from getting to the backstop. It's a pretty nice day for Terrell Tatum.
A great day. When you're able to get 4 hits in any game, you're happy, and especially when you're doing it for the first time.
Another nice pickup by Burns, full count.
I'm giving credit to Burns. Those are not easy to block. He's jumping 2 or 3 feet to be able to catch these balls.
Jumped out of his shin guards there. Had to hook one back up, I think.
I love that too. Still telling your pitcher, come on, we got this. You can do it.
Good pitch there from Baruch, fouled off. NC State, as a team, have hit 3 triples today. Last time they had 3 triples in a game was March 5th of 2013 against Elon. Right side. It's going to be a race to the bag. Who wins it? Well, won by the pitcher, Baruch. Terrell Tatum was an eyelash away from a 5-hit game, but a 10-run top of the 8th for North Carolina State. They now lead at 20-4. Game 2 of the series tomorrow has actually now been moved up to 1 o'clock Eastern time, and it'll be Sam Highfield going for NC State and McSheehan for Boston College, who had a career-high 12 strikeouts at Virginia Tech last Saturday. They are talking about possibly playing a doubleheader tomorrow. That has not been confirmed. There's possibility of some bad weather on Sunday. First pitch swinging here in the bottom of the 8th. Gold pops it up, and Murr hauls that in. 1 pitch, 1 out. So for now, we definitely know they have moved up the game tomorrow to 1 o'clock. Gorgeous day today here for game 1 of this series on the Friday in Brighton, Mass.
It's a beautiful weather today, at least. I know the bad stuff might be coming, but it ain't here yet.
North Carolina State sent 14 batters to the plate in the top of this 8th inning and scored 10 times.
It's funny, too, because Boston College, they're going up. We know we do that long inning, but we don't care. We're swinging. Yeah, swinging at first pitches the whole entire time. I don't think they've not swung at 1 pitch so far. They're just being aggressive.
Ramon Jimenez pinch hitting here for BC. Takes strike 3 at the bottom of the zone.
Wow. Just going right after him with the fastball. Throws this fastball right there, right at the low part of the zone for strike 3.
By the way, Cardazzo now catching for NC State. With 2 outs, here is Vince Cimini. A little bit in from Kobe Engel. Cimini today, 0 for 3. And now is on base for the first time today with a 4-pitch walk.
Sometimes these last couple innings right here, yeah, you look at the score and it's 20-4, but you still got 2 more games to play. And you don't want to waste any of these last bats right here. You want to be able to, put something together, score some runs, kind of give you some momentum going into tomorrow.
Freshman Travis Honeyman's going to pinch hit for Boston College. Massapequa High School product. Well, North Carolina State has not lost a road game this year. 5-0 coming in. They swept their lone road series at North Carolina. That is caught to end the inning by McDonough. Looking like NC State's going to be 6-0 on the road at the end of the day. This game's going to go to the ninth. Wolfpack 20, Eagles 4. This game moves into the top of the ninth. Game one of this three-game series. NC State up 20-4, and Boston College brings in left-hander senior Will Hesslink getting his first opportunity of the year.
Oh, I'm excited to see Will pitch. He's been out there. He's a senior. He's going to get his first attempt to be able to go out there and throw. He's got that fastball. He's got the breaking ball. I'm excited to see what he could do right here, right now.
Sean Harrington now behind the plate catching for Boston College. So a new battery for BC as we go to the top of the ninth. And up there hacking on the first pitch. Long run, but Cunningham unable to get there. Actually, Jimenez there playing first base.
I love even in a game like 12-4, still going out there, still trying to do everything they can to make plays, diving. It shows what kind of team that Boston College really is, and Coach Gambino seeing that his guys aren't giving up.
You see a lot of changes all over the field for BC. Gallant is in the game in right field. Slink gets a strikeout.
Told you I'm excited to see Will up there pitching. Got a real big sweeping slider. Got that fastball, works it up in the zone. I love it.
This is his 29th career appearance, but as you mentioned, Gabby, his first of this season. Just got his 23rd career strikeout. Getting Minshik to begin the ninth.
Hey, this is showing Coach Gambino too. Hey, maybe I want to get in there again, and if I can go out there and get a 1-2-3 inning, throw the ball over the plate, I might be able to get some more chances to be able to pitch.
Again, when we finish here, we'll send you right to Florida State, Louisville. That game has gotten underway on ACC Network Extra. That hit him while in the batter's box. 2 balls and a strike. And I don't want to lose the fact that Gabby and I and our entire crew have been honored to be a part of the 9th annual ALS Awareness Game here today. You see North Carolina State, if you're just joining us, all of them wearing number 26 to honor former NC State player Chris Combs, who passed away of ALS. Out to short. MC to Jimenez, 2 outs. And of course, Pete Frates passed away in 2019. Chris Combs passed away last year, September of 2020, and we honor not only their life, their legacies, all that they did and are still doing as far as raising funds for ALS research. Been a lot of great stories today, Gabby.
A lot of great stories, and it's definitely been an emotional game because of ALS and what it means, and it's definitely been a special game, and I'm honored to be able to be one of the guys calling the game.
Same here. Echo that. JT Jarrett, a couple of walks, officially 0 for 3, so he's got a chance for a hit. And it's a high drive, deep left field, but Leary there to make the catch to retire the side. Actually, that was Travis Honeyman, who's now in left. Last chance for BC. We're going to go to the bottom of the 9th in Brighton, Mass. Well, Boston College reliever Will Hesslink had the first 3 up, 3 down inning for BC pitching today. He looked good there in the top of the ninth. Congratulations to him.
Look what happens when you attack the zone, right? Throw that fastball, have that sweeping slider, make guys swing the bat. Hitting is hard. You're not going to go up there and you can square balls up right at people. But you know what? They didn't square the ball up on him at all. He threw the ball really well. Good job.
Needed only 10 pitches in that inning. Did Hesslink in his first outing of the season. Sean Harrington going to bat here for Boston College. Took over behind the plate in this last inning. High fly towards left center field. Coming in now, McDonough makes the catch. Again, when we're done here, we will send you directly to Florida State, Louisville. That game has gotten underway on ACC Network Extra. NC State with a 10-run eighth blew this game wide open 20-4, and BC down to their final 2 outs. Chris Galland batting for the first time today. He took over in right field for Baldelli in the last inning. Well, for NC State today, a season high 20 runs. And all in all, got very good starting pitching from Reed Johnston today, who was dominant through 5 innings. Once his team got the lead, last couple, perhaps Gabby tired a little bit, but all in all, it was a very good start for him.
I will say this, I'm getting tired looking at Carnazzo. That's very he's got some stretching going on down there in the catching position. I can't get down. If I get down there, I'm not getting up. You don't need a couple people helping me get up.
Gallen hits that one to left. That's going to get out of here. Home run.
Oh,
Chris
awesome.
Gallen takes it over the left field fence for his second home run of the season. That's 20-5.
Oh, I love it. Being able to just get out there. You're going to get your at bat, and you're not going to waste it. You're going to get this pitch. It's a fastball. It's left right over the plate. An absolute missile to left field. That ball was not very high, and it got out in a hurry. And look, didn't even know. Just sprinting. Go get it. I love it.
Junior Lucas Stallman gets in a bat here in the ninth with 1 out. Stallman appearing in his 6th game of the season, 0 for 2 with the bat. So just his 3rd plate appearance of the season. Three balls and a strike on Lucas. Took a healthy rip, full count.
That's 2 healthy rips in this inning, and I love it. You know what? You get your at bat, you're going to get up there, and I'm not trying to waste it. I'm going to put some good swings together. Ooh.
Got it. Out in front of that by just a hair.
Just a little early on that one. You could tell he was looking fastball and trying to get the bat head out. It's 3-2. You know, 20-5 ball game. You better not throw an off-speed pitch. It better be fastballs.
Another high fly down the left field side, drifting into foul territory. Falskin unable to make a play. Well, NC State's going to improve to 12-11 overall, 6-10 in conference. They'll have won 8 of their last 10 with a win here today. Another little, this is going to seem insignificant, but North Carolina State is, and I'm going to jinx it, I'm sure, the game's not over. They've not committed an error today.
Oh.
That's a high pop fly.
Uh-oh. Please catch it for Mark.
The catch is made for out number 2. If NC State does not commit an error this game, that will mean they have not committed an error in 8 of their last 9 games. 8 of their last 9, no errors.
You're doing your best to try to jinx this one.
Well, but they're fielding at 984, which is number 5 in the nation, number 2 in the ACC. But they have been really good defensively, and that gets overshadowed when you score 20 runs in a game. But it's something that, long term this year is going to be a big deal for NC State.
Well, we talked about earlier, they're 7-2 in their last 9? That plays a big part in it.
Barry Walsh hits it high and deep towards left field. That is caught, and NC State wins it 20-5. It takes game 1 of this 3-game series with Boston College. Moments away, we're going to send you to Florida State, Louisville. First, let me say it's been an honor for Gabby and myself and our crew to be a part of this 9th annual ALS Awareness Game. North Carolina State, 20 runs, 18 hits. Win it by a final of 20-5 over Boston College. For Gabby Sanchez and our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. Let's send you to Florida State and Louisville.